This video will explain the concept of quadratic inequalities in one variable. You can see here that we have a quadratic on the left-hand side, and we want to know what values of x are going to give us answers that are greater than 0. Now, even though there's no y in this, if this were a parabola, it would open downwards in a big U shape like this. And the portion of the graph that's above the x-axis, that's the answer that we're looking for. So really the question is asking you, what x values that we plug in here are going to make this give us an answer greater than 0? They're going to give us answers that are above the x-axis. Now, the first step in this is to find out where the x-intercepts are. What are the zeros of this quadratic? So we're just going to set that quadratic equal to 0. We're going to divide by -1 to get rid of the negative sign in front of the x squared. And now this is a quadratic that we can factor. So we're lucky we don't have to use a quadratic formula. And we can see here that when we turn it into two binomials, we get x is equal to 6 and x is equal to -3. So those are the two numbers that if you plug them back into the quadratic, they will turn all of this into 0. Next, we're going to construct a number line and put in the two x-intercepts. And you'll notice that I've put in open circles here because we're dealing with greater than, and so the equals part is not underneath there. So we have to use open circles here because this is not going to be included in our solution. You'll also notice that I have dotted lines to indicate where that parabola would go if we graphed it. We don't need to know the exact shape, but we do know that the portion of the graph between -3 and 6 is going to be above the x-axis. It's going to return positive results. If you plug in values for x that are less than -3, they will generate negative answers. If you plug in values for x that are greater than 6, they will generate negative answers. So the only region that generates positive answers, in other words, answers greater than 0, are between -3 and 6. This is our solution. And the only thing we need to do now is write this solution down in function notation. So here it is. We say it's all the x values that are greater than -3 and less than 6. They don't include -3, they don't include 6, and they're all real numbers. That is your solution.